festival to you. Fringe Radio.
Hello again and welcome to the 6th of our 28 daily programmes coming to you from Radisson Blu Hotel in the heart of Edinburgh. And in today's show, my very special guest in the second hour will be the brilliant Richard Shelton, who's brought a brand new Frank Sinatra show called One Last Shot to the Fringe this year. We'll hear from comedian Finlay Christie and former Page 3 girl Keeley Hazell. This morning, Hugh Brown went for a walk on the Royal Mile, chatting with some of the people behind the various shows happening at the Fringe. But we start with music from Melanie Gall.
The Selkie lass danced in the tides of the bay, singing blow north wind blow o'er the rocks of the shore. A fisherman came and stole her sealskin away. Oh, blow north wind blow, she'll be free now no more. With her skin locked away, the Selkie's trapped on the land. Oh, flow, her tears flow, damping rocks on the shore. Now you're mine, cried the fisherman, grasping her hand. Oh, flow, her tears flow, as in triumph he roared. Oh, dance, sweet Isabel, dance with me. Leave your stays on the shore, run away to the sea, and hold fast to your secret like a Selkie her skin, and never let anyone trap thee again. The shipwrecks of whales docked in Stromness tonight. Oh, row, sailors, row past the rocks of the shore. The ends are all full and the town is alight. Oh, row, sailors, row, with such pleasures in store. Now I'll shed my girlhood to join the world of men. Oh, go, lassie, go, the world's far from the shore. My true name and figure not one person shall ken. Oh, go, lassie, go, leave your skirts by the door. Oh, dance, sweet Isabel, dance with me. Leave your stays on the shore, run away to the sea, and hold fast to your secret like a Selkie her skin, and never let anyone trap thee again. The Selkie gazed so far out to sea. Oh, no, lassie, know what you lost on the shore, and the waves of her cradle now her prison shall be. Oh, no, lassie, no, weep thee forevermore. Oh, dance, sweet Isabel, dance with me. Leave your stays on the shore, run away to the sea, and hold fast to your secret like a Selkie her skin, and never let anyone trap thee again.
Blow North Wind from Melanie Gall, and you can see her in the show The Ballad of Isabel Gunn. That's at the Annex Venue 43 at the Space through to August the 29th. Well, yesterday I spoke to Keeley Hazell, who has a show at Bunker 2 at Pleasance Courtyard at 5:40 every day until the 29th of August, except for the 17th, about her experience as a Page 3 model and how it affected her at the time and since then. Well, Keeley, welcome to the programme. Lovely to have you here. Tell us about the show, because it's based loosely on your time as a Page 3 girl, which wasn't all glamorous at all, and you've come to put that other side, and you're kind of playing the part of yourself. Have I got that right?
Yes. Yes, so it's very loosely based on my memoir of the same name, and that's just simply because I couldn't think of another title. And the show takes place predominantly in 2019. And it opens with me auditioning to play myself. So it's me playing myself, auditioning to play myself. And I keep having the visual of a lot of Russian dolls, right? It's just like all these different versions of me. So I'm having to play a version of me that is also what people would assume of me given the public persona. And so that's also a character. But yeah, that's the premise of the show, and it explores sort of identity and class and erasure, and does delve into my career as a former page 3 model. But that's more as like the backdrop. It's me coming to terms with sort of my past and me dealing with reality as a 32-year-old in 2019. And now people will be trying to guess my age, but I am 21.
But looking back, I mean, the initial time where you realised that you're going to be a page 3 girl, and page 3 for the youngsters here, it was massive, wasn't it? The Daily Mirror, the Daily Star, the Sun, all these places had page 3 girls, and sometimes I think in the case of the Daily Star they had a page 7 for the fellas, but page 3 was a big thing back then. And for any young girl to appear in the papers topless, that was a big thing for them.
Yes, yeah. It's crazy. There's actually a line in my show where somebody asks what's a page 3 model, and I'm like, it's a British thing before your time. And then the scene is him sort of looking up a page 3 model and finding out like, oh my God, it was like in a newspaper, and what, this is like insane. And it is wild to think back on this period of time that in national newspapers you just had a topless model. It's kind of now at this point in life just unfathomable. I'm like, what? It's bizarre.
Let's talk about the glamour side of it, because all of a sudden famous effectively, and the pluses at that time would have been huge as well. You got to travel all over the world, literally.
Yes, yeah. I was 18 when I started modelling, and the travel was crazy, like just going around the world and all with these other young models. So it felt like a family of young girls, which was great. And for me, just such a transformative and life-changing experience from what I'd known. And so I think it's like the experience, I always say, is like both positive and negative, and a blessing and a curse, as I think everything in life is. The positive and the upside was this travel and the experience, and, you know, getting to go to different places and experience different culture and learn so much.
But the negative side of that is the exploiting of young girls.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of negative factors to it, and the exploitation, especially, you know, the age was 16 when they started page 3, which is like insane. And then it moved to 18, and I do think that 18 is like very young, even though we classify it as an adult. There is so much exploitation, and you really made no money comparatively to what the newspaper made off the back. And also you're exposing yourself in such a vulnerable way that, you know, as a young girl, in the way that society is structured, given like religion and how we see women as being pure, and when they sort of exploit themselves sexually, there's so much shame that comes with that, and the way that they are viewed and the misogyny that goes along with it. And so I think you are taking on a lot to have this opportunity. So while it's like great and fantastic, and from someone like me who comes from a working class background, I grew up on a council estate, and then here I am in this glamorous world, and I get to travel and go to Tenerife, which isn't so glamorous, but felt...
It was at the time.
It felt so glamorous at the time. And at the same time, it's like dealing with being 18 and trying to understand who you are, and then having all of this kind of input from the outside world put upon you, and the way you look, and just the misogyny is insane.
And you had the likes of, well, probably before your time would have been Linda Lusardi, Maria Whittaker, Sam Fox, of course, and Samantha Fox went on to have a music career as well. Were these people that you looked up to at the time?
No, not at all. I really looked up to, like, my idol when I was younger was like Jamie Lee Curtis. And I think modelling wise, I would have looked up to somebody like Kate Moss. So Page 3 wasn't necessarily women that I idolised, while I think that they're like all fabulous and like incredible women and wow, like we've all been through this experience. It was definitely not something I looked at and idolised in any meaningful way. It was like, I want to be Jamie Lee Curtis, who's like a rebel and she's got this short hair and she's like this incredible actress, and like that was what I looked up to.
And it's interesting because that's what you then went on to do. You went to America to become an actress.
Yes, yeah. I quit modelling at 22, moved to Los Angeles, and then went to drama school, studied acting, and followed that path, which before that just felt so far out of reach. It was like the family in which I came from, we didn't have the means to be able, look, at 16, my mum was like, you need to get a job now. What are you going to do? And it was like, well, what about education? She's like, education? Like, nobody's ever got an education in our family. You just get a job and you make money. And so acting was so far out of reach. And then when I modelled and I made money, it felt closer. And so I was like, you know what? This seems like a very difficult path to take, given everything I have going against me. But yet, if I do it and I succeed, then I've sort of shown that it's possible for somebody who is from my background to make it, so to speak. And I like a challenge. So I was like, well, you know what? If this is the hardest thing I can do, then I'm going to try and do it.
Well, that was a big move, though, going to America in search of something with no guarantees, no green card, anything like that.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, I'm a big gambler, clearly. I like to gamble my life.
But you did that, and very successfully.
Yeah, I would say probably not super successfully, but I definitely have been able to work in the industry, and that's great.
And this play now that you've got out here at the Fringe, it's obviously a very personal one for you. Is it kind of therapy?
You would think so, and I'm not too sure it is. I think the book was, when I finished the book, I felt like I'd really closed this chapter of my life, and now reliving it, I think it can go, it should be. I think at the end of the month, maybe I will have this release, but a lot of it's just like really living in the past, and therefore it's kind of re-traumatizing in some way, because you look at it, I'm looking at every day and I'm looking at every single decision I've made, and then thinking, oh God, like, had I done this would have been different, or this would have been the outcome. And so I hope at the end of this run there is some sort, but it's not really therapy.
Yeah. Are you looking for closure on the thing? Because you said you've done your book. This is the play about it. After the play is finished, is that it as far as that chapter's concerned?
I've thought about this, and I have been thinking that at the end of the month, unless I want to take the show on somewhere else or it has a different shelf life in another format, I sort of am like, do I want to close the chapter on this part of life and just leave it in the past and focus on other things? And I'm unsure. Like, I think it really depends, like, how I feel at the end of the month, and whether that's something I want to keep dipping back into and using my own experiences for whatever I'm creating.
And it's interesting as well, because we all look back on Page 3 now and we think, well, how did that ever happen? And yet, in this day and age, we have things like OnlyFans, where girls are making the same mistakes themselves.
Yeah, it's funny. I always get asked about OnlyFans, and I feel like I don't really have so much knowledge on it because it came around sort of many years after I'd left modelling. But I do think that for young girls, they are making a lot more money than they would have in the magazines that I worked for. And so, you know, you see this percentage of women that make millions a year. The thing that I hope is that obviously with OnlyFans, it stays within the platform unless people steal content and then they have to have it removed. But you're sort of contained in some way. But again, also a lot of, like, we have to look at the sort of societal system that we're in and why is this happening? Like, is this a form of sort of oppression? Like, if we look through history, the only two options women had, one was to become a whore and the other one was to marry a man. And so this is still fundamental, like a part of our society. And so I think it's like trying to understand, how do we give women opportunities when maybe there isn't any, and also know that, you know, exploiting yourself sexually in any way, or sex work as they call it, has been around since human beings.
So what's the future then for Keeley Hazell?
This is a good question. Well, after this, I'm going to take a very long break in Italy. So,
oh, very nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go and celebrate my birthday that's coming up.
Yes, there's a nice one coming up.
It's a nice one coming up, and I'm going to be in Italy for like 22 days, and I'm very excited. And then who knows, in terms of other projects, there's a lot of things I've been working on, and we'll see. It's exciting.
Is it all work for you at the moment? Or?
Well, apart from Italy, which we'll not be working at, or we'll be eating a lot of pasta and just living my best Italian life. But apart from that, yes, pretty much it's mostly all work.
And this is your first Fringe?
First Fringe.
First Fringe. So it's a bit of a daunting prospect, isn't it? Because nearly 4,000 shows on here. I mean, it is a complete different August to how it would be any other time of month in Edinburgh. Beautiful city, of course, but a lot of competition about as well. And clearly, you know, trying to sell this show, because it's an important play, isn't it? You want it to be heard.
Yeah, but as you said, it's very crowded, and there are some fantastic shows that I am so excited to see. And so, yeah, getting people in is part of, I think, the experience. But we'll see. The people who will come, and hopefully it will be received well and the message will come across. I think that's all I can hope for, really.
Yeah, well, we certainly wish you all the best with it, and it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
As you'll know by now, a big part of this show is the daily Royal Mile Walk. And this morning we sent Hugh Brown out in the rain, because I only go out in dry conditions, and I let him loose among the crowds. That's after the break.
Bringing the festival to you. Fringe Radio.
One of Australia's best tribute acts, the 64, make their Edinburgh Fringe debut with 70s Jukebox. At the Assembly Rooms, Bijou, Venue 20, you'll enjoy powerhouse vocals, slick choreography, and full-on energy as the 64 bring you the best music of the 70s. They're relishing the opportunity to play for an Edinburgh audience for the very first time at 2:30 every afternoon from the 18th to the 30th of August. Get your tickets now at edfringe.com.
I cannot believe he asked me to do OnlyFans.
Hold on, let's talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about.
We're always complaining about money.
Then get another job. I am not selling my body. I'm listening to me now. I'm good at this.
15 Minutes of Shame, from the 7th to the 30th of August at 7:20 at Playground 2 at Zoo Playground. Tickets at edfringe.com.
Black Blues Brothers, Let's Twist Again. Fringe favourites, the Black Blues Brothers are back. Expect a rock and roll jukebox, a train station and lots of acrobatics. Every day from August 5th to August 31st at 5 p.m. at McCarron Hall, Bristow Square. Tickets available at edfringe.com.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com.
Your printing is made easy at the Copy and Print Shop. We specialise in rapid printing services, leaflets, posters, brochures, banners, business cards and more. Collect your order at our Glasgow print shop or have it delivered wherever you are. Find out more at thecopyandprintshop.com.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com. printshop.com.
The science of chaos. Alternative history. Rock and roll. I'm Michael Anderson from Boston, and you've got to come to my multimedia fireworks Elvis in Chaos. Hallucinatory images. Ecstatic raves. Greenside at George Street, first week of Fringe. Lime Studio, 5:15 p.m. Hey, pay what you can. You won't be bored.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? This August, magician and physicist Kevin Quantum brings an all-new Fringe show to Edinburgh. Invisible Force. Expect brand new magic inventions, impossible moments you'll never have seen before, and astonishing illusions where science and mystery collide. Electricity crackles, reality bends, and you'll leave questioning what's actually possible. Funny, surprising, and unlike anything else at the Fringe. Search Quantum at edfringe.com and discover Kevin Quantum. Invisible Force.
To you, Fringe Radio.
Hello, it's Hugh Brown here on the Royal Mile, doing the walk today in the rain. Trust me, to get a wet day. Speaking to performers who are touting their shows.
So our show is about 4 people who work as Disney Princess party planners for this company, and their main job is to basically entertain children for their jobs. It's called Happily Ever Never. It's on tonight at 5:05 at the Space on Nidri Street, and we're performing until the 19th.
Tell me all about the show then. What's it called?
It's called A Costume Drama. It's written and performed by Claudia Fielding, and it is one woman's journey to becoming Eddie the Egg and running an extraordinary race for glory in the Mascot Grand National.
Where did that idea come from?
Who knows? Who knows? My friend said to me one day, I want to write a play about an egg, and so she did. And here we are.
And brought it to the Fringe.
Brought it to the Fringe. We got a 5-star review. Everything's coming up excellent. It is 1:25 every day except from Tuesday the 18th at Zoo Playground 3.
Tell me about the show.
Ships. It's a dark comedy made by Mark Forrest, who is a Leaf writer, and it's based in Leaf, covers mental health, and it's about 2 lost souls who are literally navigating love, and I think we've all been there in our over 40s with regarding to that.
We certainly have. So when's it on?
It's starting on Tuesday, and it's at Leaf at Arches.
This is a sketch comedy show. It lasts an hour. It's in 2:30 at the Cowgate with the Durham Review from the Durham University. And it's been great so far.
What's it called?
Raiders of the Lost Laughs, which of course is a pun on Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is Indiana Jones. So it's very funny.
You won't get sued by George Lucas for the name?
No. Well, George got in touch, but we batted him off with a stick. So yeah, no, it's been going well.
So a fun show then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fun for it. Yeah, it's sort of teen and up. There's a bit of language, but it's kind of just fun. 60 minutes of laughing, kind of good for everyone.
Shouldn't Durham University students be lying down in a darkened room during August?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've decided to take to the rainy Edinburgh today to do this. No, but we'll for sure go in a dark room after we're done, for sure.
So it's a improvised seance. It's made up entirely on the spot. It's going to be very silly. Lots of visions of spirits. It's at 8:35 p.m. Surgeon's Hall until Tuesday. It's a great laugh.
So you don't know what's coming?
Yeah, it's made up on the spot. It's different every night, based on audience suggestions.
So if I gave you a suggestion, you'd have to come up with something?
Yeah.
Let's see, what about my granny's favourite food?
I'd guess it's like a pea soup with some lettuce, don't know why lettuce, and like a nice wholesome bread made with oats. That's what I'd say.
I think you're spot on. Thanks very much for giving me a flyer. Thank you. Good luck with the show. Thank you.
Break a leg.
Hello, this is the Biscuit Barrel Sketch Comedy Show. It is an hour. We managed to squeeze 69 different sketches and a whodunit all into the same plot in the same hour. It's at Teviot, which is the new old gilded venue. Lots of fun. It's the fastest, funniest, most frantic hour you can have at the Fringe.
And that's why people should go and see it.
And that's why people should go and see it. I dress up as a Jaffa Cake. Our friendly Jammy Dodger is the detective. Bob and Biscuit's been murdered. It's absolutely bonkers.
Sounds like a great deal of fun too, for you and for the audience.
Oh yeah. Have a lovely Fringe.
Fringe Radio, tell me about the show.
Oh my gosh. So it is called Stanislavski Can't Save Me from the Apocalypse. It is about 5 camp theater directors who are forced to take care of prepubescent teenagers when the apocalypse hits theater camp. It's ridiculous. It's camp. It's silly. We have sold out every day so far of the Fringe. We only have a couple tickets left for today. We're on every day at 3:05 at Greenside, the Ivy Studio. Come on down.
Where on earth did the idea for this come from?
Well, I don't know. I'm not the writer. I'm just an actor. Maggie Dickinson is our brilliant writer-director. I think she wanted to make a silly show about 5 women, and it has a lot of heart. It has a lot of niche theater references. It's for the theater kid in us all.
This is a show for all ages, clowns of all ages. Have you ever thought of how news today are bringing you down? So that is kind of what we're trying to tackle in a nice, fun and children-friendly way. It's partly escapism and partly feeling like, what can we do in this world full of misery and suffering? How do you approach it from a more like absurd perspective? It's at 2 o'clock at Rotunda Theatre until the 18th of August.
Hello.
Improvised music.
Tell me about the show then.
Okay, so it's called There's a Double Bill. Number 1 is Lisa's, an original musical by We're Gonna Be a Dad, 5-star show. It's about the Mona Lisa realising she's not famous enough and stealing herself. Brilliant hour-long comedy. Then you go to the bar for a quick drink and you come straight back for the bloopers, an improvised comedy musical. So you choose a main character, anyone you like, and we have to improvise a musical about them before your very eyes. The musicians are improvising, we're improvising, also got 5-star reviews at this Fringe and has performed on the West End. Lisa is at 2:55, just at the top of the mile at C Venues Aquila, and then at 4:10 the blooper starts, but they're one after the other. So you just go up there for 2:55 and you can watch both shows.
I love the idea of the Mona Lisa stealing herself.
It's a brilliant musical. I watch it like every show, even though I'm not in it. It's excellent. It's amazing. Catchy tunes, heartfelt. It's the pick of the Fringe.
The Tides of Heartbreak. It's a student-written show. We are student theatre at Glasgow. It is about dating apps. It's this guy called Connor goes on a date with this girl from Hinge called Vanessa, and she ghosts him, and so he calls in Detective Heartbreak to figure out why she ghosted him, and it's all about that. A lot of great moustaches throughout. Yeah, come along. It's at 3:45 on Nudie Street. Get your tickets online or at the box office.
Students performing, my goodness.
Students, I know, can you imagine? Yeah, student written, student led, student everything, so come support small productions.
Remind me of the title and where and when.
It's Detective Heartbreak. It's at 3:45 until the 15th of August every day, and it is at the space on Nudie Street in the upstairs venue.
Tell me about the show and then we'll get a song.
Okay, it's called Pet Food. It's a comedy hour. It's sketches, character comedy, everything weird and wonderful. It's musical comedy.
It's like the whole Fringe distilled into one chaotic good show, but it's 2 people doing it, and that's me and Absana here. We've got keyboard music. We've got this little ukulele doing it. So we're on the Royal Mile today, doing some little kind of riffs, going free comedy because the walk-ins are free today. Free walk-ins today, and critically acclaimed show. It should be a swell old time. I hope. It's at 4:15. At Nick 3, that's the venue at Hoots at Nicholson Square, and it's an hour long. We've only got 3 performances left, so today, tomorrow, and then the 11th.
And a bit of ukulele to finish with, please.
Free comedy today at 4:15. Free comedy, it's critically acclaimed, so get out of this Scottish rain and see some free comedy. It's actually good, it'll fill you with glee. Thank you, Mr. Interviewer Man. Are you going to come to the show? I hope you can. Thank you very much, Fringe Radio.
Thank you, Fringe Radio.
Thanks, Fringe Radio. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, it wouldn't be the Fringe without traffic cones. Let's have a word with this man wearing a traffic cone. Tell me about the show.
We are a musical comedy. 5 neighbors, 1 spot, no rules. We're from New York City, and our premiere is tonight.
Why did you decide to come to the Fringe?
The musical fits very well for this type of event. Our writer, Lou, set up the whole thing, and he just said that Fringe is where it's at.
So what can the audience expect when they come?
Neighbors fighting over a parking spot, but we got musical comedy, we got kick lines, we got gags, and we've got heartfelt. The neighbors all realize that community is what matters.
And the traffic cone, of course.
And the traffic cone. Lots of cones. We have a number in the play called Cone Law. It's Greenside at 6:30. We're every night except for the 16th.
That was Parking Spot the Musical.
We are a boy band from the University of Oxford raising money for a local children's hospice back in the city. So we sing for the kids, but we're doing an hour of pop hits, anything from Bon Jovi to NSYNC to Olivia Rodrigo. If you fancy a little bit of song and dance, we're going to be here making fools of ourselves in the suits, but it's a really good time.
You're not going to believe this. I was born in Oxford.
Oh, no way. Whereabouts?
At Radcliffe Infirmary.
Oh, my God. Wicked. I've got a couple friends doing placement there. That's actually super cool.
So what can they expect then when they come to the show? It's called Out of the Blue.
Out of the Blue. So that is the name of our group. We are an a cappella group. So essentially all of the music that you hear in the show, including all the drums, bass, everything, is completely from our voices. So nothing that you hear isn't being done by someone on the stage. And we'll be dancing at the same time. So it's a lot of pop music. If you fancy an hour, we're a lot like people like NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, synchronized song and dance. If you're looking for, just an hour of some lighthearted music, this is a place to be.
How many of you are in the group?
There are 13 of us. I'm not actually on this poster, but I'm replacing him because he's been cast in a West End show, so they needed a backup.
Oh, there you go. Are you out for a West End spot?
I am not, unfortunately, but he definitely was. It's a good set of voices.
And what are you studying at Oxford?
I'm studying experimental psychology.
Brilliant, that's great. Well, I wish you well with the show. Just
Amazing.
Remind me of where and when it is.
It is at Studio 1 at 4:30 every day for the rest of the Fringe, except the 18th.
Thank you so much. Have a great run.
Amazing. You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Close to make sure that you know that I was lost before you. Christmas was cold and gray, another holiday alone to celebrate. But then one day everything changed. You're all I need. Wasn't the same alone on Christmas Day. Presents, oh what a beautiful sight. Don't mean a thing if you ain't holding me tight. You're all that I need underneath the tree. I found what I was looking for, a love that's meant for me, a heart that's mine completely. Knock me right off my feet, and this year I will fall with no worries at all. Christmas, and everything's clear. You're near, underneath the tree. You're here, this is where you should be. Snow is falling as the carolers sing. It just wasn't the same alone on Christmas Day. Presents, what a beautiful sight. Don't mean a thing less you're holding me tight. You're all that I need, oh, underneath the tree tonight. If there was a way, I'd hold back these tears, but it's Christmas Day. But then one day, oh everything changed. You're all I need. Underneath the tree.
Well, that was Oxford's Out of the Blue, who were out chatting with Hugh before that at the Royal Mile, and will rejoin Hugh in the second hour. Well, we're going to hear about a play called Shamilton shortly with Stuart MacFarlane, but over the years there have been countless shows at the Fringe where siblings have performed together. What is a little more unusual is a mother and daughter act, especially when the daughter plays her younger mother and mum is in charge of distributing flyers. Well, this is the case for one particular show held at the Assembly within George Square, as Stuart MacFarlane discovered.
Carolyn, I love the hat.
Oh, thank you. An A to Z Guide to Dating. My daughter wrote a play and is portraying me based on a dating book I wrote 40 years ago. And so she's making fun of me, but it's very fun. Nobody can't like this show.
You've really bought into it, given that you're actually here in George Square with delivering flyers to everybody.
It's my baby. Anyway, but she's really talented. Last time she did Bad Teacher here, which was a big smash. Anyway, it's at 5:15 every single night through August at Buttercup.
Buttercup, tell us a little bit more about your daughter, your daughter's name.
Grace O'Keefe, and she's been an award winner. She's funny, and she lives in London. And she's a lyricist. Her songwriting is amazing. That's what she's really amazing. And then she's doing splits and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, she's really making fun of me. So I should tell you not to go. Please don't go to this show. It's 5:15 every night for Fringe. A to Z Guide to Dating. Please do not go because I am ridiculed in the most hilarious way.
This is an interesting contradiction, speaking to somebody with flyers that suggesting that we shouldn't go.
No, I really mean to go.
Of course you do.
If you have a mom, wouldn't this be your dream come true to be on stage making fun of her? I mean, it's just, and she's so talented. Her voice is fantastic. She did it all herself. Anyway, and she's kind of the toast of the town. She really is. So 5:15 every single night.
You mentioned that your daughter stays in London. Where have you come into Edinburgh
from? Baltimore, Maryland, in the U.S.
I would imagine, I might be wrong, you will have seen her perform in Edinburgh before.
Yes, I have. For Summoning Sondheim. She was last year here doing Summoning Sondheim, which was also great. But this is completely different. It's completely hilarious.
And what about your own impressions of Edinburgh and the festival?
Oh, gosh. I talk about it all the time. First of all, Edinburgh is beautiful, but I've never seen the scenery because I'm always watching every single show. But the people, this is so well run. It's all generations, all different nationalities, and everybody is friendly. The food is amazing. Nobody wouldn't like Edinburgh Fringe. I mean, you'd have to be something wrong with you, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And given its success over the last 79 years, been going since 1947.
You have?
Not me personally.
Oh,
I was going to say I'd be cryogenically frozen, at this
Me
stage.
too.
If that was the case. No, but the festival's been going that length of time. Next year's the big 80 for the Fringe. So it does show, it's evolved, it's developed, it's being able to stand the test of time.
I've been to so many different kinds of festivals and things all over the world. This is the best because they really treat you like family here. At the vendors, the food is amazing and cheap. Bathrooms are completely clean. It's just a happy place.
Things you would maybe take for granted, but you've obviously identified as important and maybe different here to elsewhere.
To me, I mean, I'm not a young person necessarily. I'm young at heart, like you. But I like when a place is clean and when people smile at me. I don't really like going to places where people are scowling. That's not here. In Scotland, come on, people are great in Scotland.
Nobody could scowl at you wearing the hat that you're wearing, trust me.
Trust me. They do scowl. They shoo me away.
Well, listen, thank you for your time speaking to Fringe Radio, and we wish you
the
best.
Sweet. Grace O'Keefe, 5:15 every night at Buttercup at Undervalley.
I'm with some really important people that are behind the scenes. You're backstage members of a particular performance. Tell us a little bit more about it and who you are, first of all.
Hi, my name's Emily, I'm from Leicester and I am flyering for a show called Shamilton. So those of you who are fans of Hamilton, whether you like it, don't like it, doesn't matter. We take a historical figure from the audience, any suggestions, and we turn it into a musical. Fully improvised, we've got a live Scottish band as well, 4-piece, absolutely amazing, I would 100% recommend. We are at 7:30 at Studio 1 and I can't wait to see you guys there.
I mean, that's pretty impressive, just taking a name on the hoof and dealing with it. How long is the show?
The show's just about an hour. I'm Jack, by the way. I'm on the sound team for Shamilton. It's super, super fun. Really great time. So yeah, you can shout out the name of any sort of celebrity or historical figure, and our cast for like amazing, talented freestylers and singers will come up with a Hamilton-style show about them on the spot. Really, really special.
That is thinking on your feet and then some.
Oh my God, there's such talented improvisers. It's really like a magic trick to get to watch what these guys are able to conjure up. So it's a really special experience.
But when did you guys arrive in Edinburgh?
1st of August, and we'll be here for the whole month flying, and so will the show.
So just a reminder of the name of the show, where you're performing, well in your case working backstage, and the dates, start and finish dates.
So start dates are the 5th of August and we finish around the end of Fringe, and it's at Studio 1 at 7:50.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is barely awake. You hear that new day calling, but you draw the shades and you turn away. I see you there with your smile on, keeping up the charade, hiding in photo albums, watching memories fade. Come on, wayward child, don't you face it all alone. You ring me up, I'll be there for you by the telephone. You can count on me, my darling. You can count on me, it's true. You can count on me to do everything you don't want to do. 'Cause if your roof begins to cave in and you need someone to come and save you, you could stay a while. You can count on me. I see your own little rain cloud following you all around. That hurricane comes a-knocking and it's breaking in while you're breaking down. But don't give in to the pressure. You keep your head held high, 'cause the pain won't last and the storm will pass. There's an endless summer sky. Come on, wayward child, shake away that misery. Open up because you deserve better company. You can count on me, my darling. You can count on me, it's true. You can count on me to do everything you don't want to do. 'Cause when that winter wind comes blowing and you need someone to come and hold you, I've got open arms. Put your feet up. You can count on me, darling. Let your hair down. You can count on me, darling. You can feel that all the world is standing by your side. And you can count on me, darling. You can count on me, it's true. You can count on me to do everything you don't want to do. And if your roof
That's a track from the soundtrack album of The Real Kyle McCarron, which is on at 4th at Pleasant Courtyard Venue 33 till the 30th of August at 1:50 every day. A song called You Can Count on Me. Well, appearing at the Venue 515 at the Monkey Barrel 4, which is a pretty prestige venue, of course, for any comedian to play at, various times between now and the 30th of August, but it's the new kid on the block. Champagne Casanova is the title of it, and it's Finlay Christie. Welcome to the programme.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate that.
Things are going well for you, aren't they?
Well, the Fringe has just started. It could all come crumbling down.
I don't think it will.
I mean, I've got my... I'm like a predominantly kind of online comedian, so doing the Fringe doesn't, it's not as scary these days. I mean, this is my third show, but it used to feel like it was life and death. But now I'm just happy if people come, and especially if they've seen me online, or if people have discovered me for the first time. That's great.
And online is so important for comedians these days. That's gold dust, because it's free advertising at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's word of mouth,
yeah,
which is the crazy. It's like word of mouth amplified across the internet. It's really really can help people find their niche. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I know some people think it's the death of art and culture, but
some areas it won't work at all. But as soon as you get a following and people start liking you, then they start sharing you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's the pyramid effect, isn't it? So how did you get into it?
How did I get into comedy? I started very young. I did a thing called the Comedy Club for Kids, which they ran workshops for children, and they let you perform at kind of family-friendly shows. So I did my first gig when I was about 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Where was this at?
It was in London. It was at a theatre in Leicester Square. I think it exists anymore.
Right.
But
what a great idea.
Yeah, they won the Victoria Wood Award last year, the Comedy Club for Kids. I mean, they've been running shows for so long now. I'm very grateful for them. I think one of my mum's friends who picked up like a flyer for it and then suggested that me and my friend do it, and then I remember, my mum was desperate to find something I was good at. I wasn't good at sports or
music.
No, I was rubbish at both of those. But I really loved performing. I used to listen to cassette tapes of like old sketch shows. So when I first did stand-up at like one of these workshops, I just remember feeling like, oh yeah, this is the thing. This is the right place, yeah.
And of course, from the family-friendly material, as a 6-year-old, obviously, it's developed into. I notice you've got an 18 rating for your show.
This one, this one is compared to my previous shows, it's quite racy. I mean, I tell a story about getting robbed because it was a honey trap story, and that's the sort of crux of the show. So compared to previous shows, which have been quite kind of clean, and maybe I'm kind of shedding that.
Like a caterpillar.
That feeling like I've got to be family friendly, yeah.
Yes, a butterfly.
It's what makes me laugh is the problem. You do comedy and then eventually it's a gateway drug to sort of harder comedy. The only stuff that makes me laugh now is just stuff that's incredibly naughty, yeah.
There are comedians like Frankie Boyle, for instance, in the UK and Scotland who does his show, which is very racy indeed, and yet he can appear on BBC primetime television doing something completely different without it affecting his comedy crowd. His audience are very much that they know what they're going to get.
Yeah, and his style's certainly evolved over time.
So who makes you laugh then in the comedy world?
Oh, all sorts of people.
Yeah.
Everyone. I mean, I was listening to a load of Tom Stade's albums recently. He really makes me laugh, and he's someone who doesn't mind being a bit bawdy, his material touches on race and touches on politics, but in a very innocent way. He doesn't come at it from a kind of preachy angle, and it's so silly. That's what I love. I like when somebody doesn't look rehearsed and they look like they've come from an acting background. I like somebody who just looks like who looks like they're enjoying it.
Yeah,
and it's just a silly person.
Nowadays, particularly with the internet, once you've put your material out there, you've then got to think up something new because people will throw it back at you.
Absolutely, yeah. One thing I do is I've always made sketches. Well, not always, but I've since about maybe like 6 years. I've done like online sketches with my stand-up, which is a good way to keep people engaged with your kind of comedy without burning your material. It takes so much time to write stand-up, but a sketch you can put it out in a week.
Yeah.
So the sketches are like the fast food, and the stand-up is the Michelin-star meal.
That's an interesting way of putting it. That's right.
And you're hearing that from Ronald McDonald himself.
That's right. Now, your own material, I mean, writing it and like this show, for instance, I mean, how do you go about it?
You start with, or at least I do, I know some comedians start with the idea for the show, and then they write the material to fit that, where I think that's a crazy order to do things. And I start with the funniest jokes and thoughts that I have over
and then fit them into a
period of time, and then kind of you have to look at them you have to kind of zoom out and go, oh, this is what has been occupying my mind for the last 2 years. Because usually there is a link, and it kind of comes together naturally by the end, and you realise, you go, oh, that's really I've been obsessed with. Like for me, this show, a lot of it is about self-delusion. It's about wondering whether you're living in a lie. Because I think I kind of become a lawyer for myself in my brain about all my decisions and my identity. I kind of decide. I don't know if you do that. Like justifying every decision to yourself. Like, do you eat meat?
Yeah.
And how do you justify yourself that to yourself in your brain? Because we know, obviously, we both understand the horrors of like factory farming and meat, the meat industry. I eat meat as well. I feel like I don't think about it at all when I buy. I just think like I need some chicken because I'm hungry. So many of my moral kind of choices and decisions are just because I justify the thing to myself in the moment, and then, exactly as you say, put it to the back of my mind. When I'm buying the meat, it's not me going, oh, is this a good or a bad decision? I immediately jump to, it's a good decision, now I need to reverse engineer why. And that's really what the show is about.
Yeah, as you say, you've gone in a new direction for you now, the more kind of racy material, etc. Can you get back to the old material?
Yeah.
In the future, yeah.
Every show's been different. So different, because I've evolved as a person. I mean, when I started writing my first show, I was 19, and I'm 27 now. So you're going to, the things that you think about that occupy you. My first show was all about being young, because that's the messaging that I got from everybody else in comedy. They kept saying, oh, how young you are. And also, there was so much talk about kind of as a Gen Z, or like as an emerging generation, Gen Z. And I kept feeling that I was kind of reduced to that identity, and I felt like everyone was misunderstanding it. But because Gen Z was so young, we hadn't been given a chance to kind of produce sort of art and culture that reflected how we really feel, apart from in memes online.
Yes, indeed.
Which is, I would be happy with that as the sum total cultural output of Gen Z, because I think they're brilliant memes. They're so much funnier than stand-up.
Because they're used in context at the right time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the middle of a conversation, someone drops it in, brings you a
brilliant.
smile. Yeah, absolutely. And there's some very clever people as well. Picking the right meme.
And we don't know who they are.
Yes.
Who are these people creating them? They're all invisible.
Yes, I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to create a meme, but they're out there. Now, there's an interesting quote from chortle.co.uk, which I know you've adopted for your poster.
Yeah.
And it says that you are the voice of a generation.
That's slightly out of context.
Oh, did you? Well, you're a comedian, you're allowed that artistic license.
Yeah, the full sentence was something like, he could be said to be the voice of a generation. It wasn't like he is the voice of a generation.
Yeah, but you'll take it anyway.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
I'll chop that up.
Yes, it was nice. It was nice to use. What's Finlay Christie going to be doing in the next few years? Because it looks like you're on an absolute, trajectory right up there.
I'll be chilling. I'll be big chilling. I'm doing my tour in October, but in September I don't think I want to do anything. Yeah.
Having a complete month off.
Yeah, I've got. I might go away at some point, but after the festival, my brain's going to be completely mush.
Yes, yeah.
And
that's a lot of work you're doing. In fact, you started on the 3rd. No one starts at the 3rd here.
Really?
All the way through to the 30th. No, everything's like maybe 5th, occasionally 4th. I've never seen a 3 to 30 before.
Monkey Barrel start earlier. I'm at the Monkey Barrel 4, 10:40 p.m.
That's right, great venue.
Yes, every night except for I think it's the 18th.
Yeah. From a comedian's point of view, you must get more out of an intimate audience. It's a special, different kind of atmosphere, I suppose.
Yeah, it's different. I used to have a completely different set for when I started. I used to write my set out in like my notes app. And I would have big room set and small room set. 'Cause when you start doing open mics, sometimes you're doing rooms of like 10 people. That's an intimate venue to me, not 300, 400.
Yes.
And that is a completely different vibe to like 100, 200, and then there's a bigger step up. You can create so much more tension in a big room.
Yeah.
Whereas in a smaller room, you can really coast off vibe, and you can really coast off personality.
Because it's like being in the room with your mates, I suppose. You know, you have 8-10 people there in the small room, but it's the fact that it's the small room and everyone's engaging.
I think it's easier to be kooky in a small room because in a big room everyone kind of needs to agree, and it's difficult in a big room. It can be if it's disjointed. You know, like, I don't know, I'm trying to, some of these clowns, great in a small room, but they wouldn't want to do an arena. So much of it's in the facial expression, in the mad, you know. Sometimes they're kind of scary, the clown shows.
Yeah.
And that's why they're, you know, that's why they're kind of fun in a small venue. Look, these clowns, you know, get their kit off.
That's a conversation stopper right there. Well, look, Finlay, it's been a joy to talk to you. You're just so down to earth, and you're just bright sunshine. It's like you light up the room when you came in here.
That's very kind. I was feeling really spaced and out of it as I came in, but thank you.
And of course, 10:40 p.m. at the Monkey Barrel, which is venue 515. Champagne Casanova is the name of the show. It's on till the 30th of August. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
After the break, my special guest is Richard Shelton.
Bringing the festival to you. Fringe Radio.
One story, two people. Amanda Crowley and Thomas Duncan. One lawyer, one mass murderer. The case is lost. She wants it anyways. Not to win, but to understand how monsters are made. Glimpse behind the societal masks, as with Monster Made, an intense character study, a captivating, psychological, intimate play is coming to the Fringe at Paradise in the Vault. Only the one who can change his mind can actually change something. Monster Made runs from August 24th to August 30th. Book your seats today at edfringe.com.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? This August, magician and physicist Kevin Quantum brings an all-new Fringe show to Edinburgh. Invisible Force. Expect brand new magic inventions, impossible moments you'll never have seen before, and astonishing illusions where science and mystery collide. Electricity crackles, reality bends, and you'll leave questioning what's actually possible. Funny, surprising, and unlike anything else at the Fringe. Search Quantum at edfringe.com and discover Kevin Quantum, Invisible Force.
This August, discover the best comedy, cabaret, kids shows and more at the Free Festival. With over 360 daily shows, there's something for everybody at a price for everyone. Donate what you think the show's worth at the end, or book pay what you can tickets to keep the Fringe accessible for everyone. The Free Festival, the real spirit of the Edinburgh Fringe. Full programme at freefestival.co.uk.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com.
Your printing is made easy at the Copy and Print Shop. We specialise in rapid printing services, leaflets, posters, brochures, banners, business cards and more. Collect your order at our Glasgow print shop or have it delivered wherever you are. Find out more at thecopyandprintshop.com.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com.
One of Australia's best tribute acts, the 64, make their Edinburgh Fringe debut with 70s Jukebox. At the Assembly Rooms, Bijou, Venue 20, you'll enjoy powerhouse vocals, slick choreography, and full-on energy as the 64 bring you the best music of the 70s. They're relishing the opportunity to play for an Edinburgh audience for the very first time at 2:30 every afternoon from the 18th to the 30th of August. Get your tickets now at edfringe.com.
Bring in the
festival to you, Fringe Radio.
Well, Richard, you've been a regular at the Fringe. This time it's a change of venue for you, though. I saw you at the Frankenstein the last couple of years, I think, and you've changed the venue now. It's now the Dirty Martini at Le Mans venue, which is venue 47 in George Street. And this is probably because it's more a theatrical performance that you're doing now, isn't it? It's called Sinatra One Last Shot. So set it up for us, because it's quite dark, isn't it?
It is quite dark. So we meet the man. Well, actually, it's a follow-on from the drama Sinatra Raw. So in Raw, we found him retiring in 1971 for the first time. And he was looking back at his life and thinking about what had worked for him, what hadn't worked. You know, the pitfalls of life, the broken love affairs, so forth, and the allegations of the press, hatred, the mob. And indeed, he went on to retire in 1971. He came out of retirement in 73, and this is where we pick up what happened between 73 and 79 when this play actually is set. Well, a lot happened. He had to, he felt he still had a voice, he still had something to say, but the world had really moved on. I mean, Sid Vicious had recorded a punk version of My Way. It was the time of disco. He had to compromise in his love with Barbara Marx, who was his longest marriage out of the 4 marriages, but it wasn't necessarily, shall we say, a happy marriage in the sense of it wasn't romance, it wasn't all, cupids and high times. It was a steadier affair. And of course, she was with him into his older age. So in this play, we're looking at that period of his life, working out how he's still relevant, how he's still resilient. And as he doubts it all and thinks he'll never have another big song, another big hit, somebody brings him a song called New York, New York. And of course that changes both his life and musical history. So that's where we find ourselves.
Absolutely changed everything. But of course that night where the whole thing is set in,
yes,
it could have gone either way, couldn't it, for him?
Yes, it could. It's New Year's Eve, 1979, so the dawn of the 80s. I mean, that was a pivotal time. I remember it myself in my own life. And he's gathered these friends together, and he just wants to reminisce and talk about how he sort of, if you like, substantiate his choices, substantiate his mistakes. There's a moment where he has this enduring love affair with Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was this, for those who don't know, arguably the most beautiful woman in Hollywood at the time, sort of more beautiful than Marilyn Monroe in a sort of a sensual, sexual kind of a way. They used to call her the animal or the body, which he hated as a matter of fact, but she was that beautiful and beguiling, and he loved her to the end of both of their lives, as a matter of fact. But he had, a lot of people don't know this, he had 3 suicide attempts. I think one was pretty half-hearted. One was, I think, probably meaningful, but fortunately was saved. We look at one of those moments where he's driven with such desperation to the point of suicide. And there's a song that goes with that moment to explain. The song underscores the drama, if you like. And it comes at a point just before, he turns around and saves the day. The day is saved by New York, New York.
Fantastic. Now this, do we call it an obsession that you have with Frank Sinatra, or how do we actually frame it?
That's a really great question. It's a question I ask myself a lot. Why am I on this journey with Frank Sinatra? It's not so much that I won't leave it alone, it won't leave me alone, because I live in Los Angeles at the moment. When I went there, this was part of the journey to keep this relationship going. And I've sort of become a curator of this métier, if you like, or of this message. Because situations would reveal themselves to me. I was one of the last people alive in his last home, from which they took him to die in Foothill Road in Beverly Hills by a fluke. It's just by chance. People in Palm Springs have asked me to now visit all of his homes and have private show rounds. I've met the people who collaborated with him, I've met his family, his tuxedo, of course, walked into my life, which indeed I'm wearing during this show. So if nothing else, come and see Frank Sinatra's tuxedo, his actual tuxedo. And each time I sort of I do other things. I was just shooting a TV show with Hugh Laurie called Dig, as a matter of fact. And I'll act in other things or I'll sing other stuff. But this is something that won't leave me alone, and I actually do love it. So I don't know that I'm obsessed. I'm passionate. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, passionate. That's a good word. Now you mentioned the tuxedo there. When you put it on, does something change inside you?
Yeah, I think so. I've worn it a lot, and I have to pinch myself sometimes and think, he actually wore this when he was performing this material. So if you like, it's the tuxedo that shrouded him. It's now shrouding me, and I think it's a cute way of looking at it. It's almost as if the tuxedo is going, yeah, right. Who do you think you are? Are you good enough to wear me? But there was a moment when I was in South Africa doing a show, and with a big band in Johannesburg. And it really was going very well, and it was a packed audience, huge auditorium, thousands and thousands. And I did have a hair on the back of my neck moment where I really just sort of went with the energy and thought, this is what it must have felt like to be Frank Sinatra. And it was very intoxicating, I don't mind telling you. I mean, I never ever think, there was somebody who came to see Rat Pack Confidential in London when we did the show in the West End, and he was such a nice guy. He was a bit of a super fan of the whole Rat Pack, and he said to me, do you ever think you're Frank Sinatra? I said, no. When I go home on the bus where I read Harry Potter, or on my bike. I never think I'm Frank Sinatra. But I get that, it's intoxicating, eau de cologne filled stuff.
And with regard to your Frank Sinatra, would we call you a vocal interpreter or an impressionist?
No, a dramatic interpreter. I understand him as an actor, honestly and truly. That's where it all starts from. I know his emotions. I know the kaleidoscope of those emotions. I know that territory. I can feel the rage, I can feel the sadness and the compassion of that man, which then motivates the songs. And my voice sits in the same register as Sinatra's. It has a similar cadence and a similar sound. I wouldn't, of course it's not, if only it was identical, There can never, I think it was Bing Crosby who said, a voice like that comes along once in a lifetime. It was a shame it had to be my lifetime. No one can ever, there will never be another Sinatra. But I think it's more powerful to offer and evoke the emotion and the dramatic narrative of the man, and then people are persuaded, you see. I don't think I could impersonate him, to be perfectly honest with you, but I can certainly persuade people that they're in the company of that man.
And great things have happened, haven't they, for you with the Frank Sinatra connection, because you've done several shows, of course, Sinatra and Me. There's a song, of course, which we'll be playing later on called Sinatra and Me from your album called An Englishman in L.A. And that experience itself must have been fantastic because you played with some of Frank Sinatra's old band.
I did. Three of them. Two of them played on his retirement concert. Actually, three, but all of them played on his retirement concert. And we did a show in San Diego, actually, where they spoke and took questions from the audience. And then we created the music. And it has been extraordinary working with those people and hearing the stories from the inside, unexpurgated stuff, and stuff that nobody's ever heard. Real human stuff. And that has been... icing on the cake. I mean, frosting on the icing on the cake. It's been tremendous.
It must have been nice as well, just mixing with these guys as well, who'd spent so much time with the great man. And I can just imagine you sitting there with a big smile on your face, like a sponge, just soaking it all in.
Very much so. I mean, I have a great reverence for people who, let's say have gone before or worked, and they've reached a level, they've reached an area of expertise, irrespective of what field they're in. When you meet people of that caliber who've got stories to tell, I could sit and listen to these people for hours, and just to know they breathed the same air as them, the same oxygen, and indeed some of them drank from the same Jack Daniel's bottle. There was one lovely story about Greg Field, his drummer, who was a young kid when he was playing with Sinatra. They were in Monte Carlo, and they came into the hotel, and Sinatra was there, and he hadn't spoken, actually, to Greg. And until this point, he goes, "It's the drummer, get over here." So Greg, of course, obediently walks over. "What do you want to drink?" And he said, oh, well, actually, Mr. Sinatra, I'm not drinking at the moment, sir. "What do you want to drink?" I asked. "Oh, well, I think you'll have a Jack Daniels." And so the conversation went on.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So your audience, the people that come to see you, in particular on this show, obviously, if you're a Frank Sinatra fan, this is the show to see on the Fringe. But it's much more than that, isn't it? That you're trying to kind of reach out, I suppose, with this one to a more theatrical audience?
Yes. Actually, because it is a play. There's no question. There's a lot of dialogue. We've previewed the show, so I know it works. We've done it on its feet. But the dialogue, it's written by a guy called Bert Tyler Moore. Bert wrote The Windsors on Channel 4. So it comes, I wrote Raw, but he's written this. And actually it's good that I brought information to it, but it's great to be doing somebody else's words because they're not in any way influenced or coloured by me. So I'm having to interpret and act those words. And they do move. They move at quite a lick. And a lot of information people won't know. But of course there is the music. You have to have the music to support all of this stuff. So yeah, reaching out to fans of drama and all ages. I notice when I do this work in America, honestly, the audience is literally a rainbow. It is every creed, every age, every background, and because people are fans of the great music, so it really does have appeal. And I think actually, if I might say, this is a great message this is a comeback story, and everybody loves a comeback story. You know, even when you're in your 60s, you can still come back. You know, I love that message.
That's good news for me and you, of course,
and
being
me,
the same
course.
age.
Indeed.
But of course, I mean, famously, you've done a lot of acting. I mean, soap fans, of course, will always remember you in Emmerdale. Yes. And one episode of EastEnders, I think you played a policeman.
2 episodes.
2 episodes, was it?
Yes, it was.
Well, Wikipedia got it wrong, didn't they?
They did.
And here, you're able to combine your love for acting with your love for Sinatra and the music.
That's right. And like I said a minute ago, it is absolutely the acting that motivates me. When you get that right, when you get the level of the mood of the man, because quite early on, there's a reference to The Godfather, which he famously was enraged by. It was written by a guy called Mario Puzo, a fellow Italian-American. And the character of Johnny Fontaine was it was based on Frank Sinatra, which enraged him. And he was going to sue them and the whole 9 yards, but he didn't. But we tackle that early on, so straight away, the audience are slightly on the back foot by this guy who's drinking Jack Daniels and going a bit crazy over these allegations. But I do love the drama of it, yeah.
And going back to the old days of theatre, because
Yes.
I know that there'll be people wanting me to ask you about Emmerdale, and
Yes.
of course you were the husband of Lorraine Chase. Yes. Lorraine Chase was your screen wife. Happy memories?
Very happy memories. Yeah, I wish my character hadn't gone quite so crazy quite so quickly. We really had fun. I mean, Lorraine and I got on extremely well, even though we were very embattled as we were a very odd couple, I must say. I think she'd thrown her best friend off a boat, and then I murdered her brother with a fire extinguisher, moved his body. But somehow we rubbed along together in the village. And I have to say, it was very, very happy memories of being on the moors. And I love Leeds. I mean, Leeds is a great city. So, yeah, nothing but happy memories.
Would you ever go back to doing a soap again, or is that just kind of far away from you at your stage?
Yes, I would always. I mean, you know, I'm an actor. I'm available for hire. I would go back because you see, the thing is this: that I've worked in dramas in America. I've been on movie sets, you know, of Academy Award-winning films. Theatres, I've played to a handful of people, I've played to thousands of people. So everything has its place in that kaleidoscope of work. And when you go into a soap, It's a fast turnaround, you know. You're given your sides, as they refer to them in the script. You generally get them a couple of weeks in advance, but the pace is very, very quick. You have to memorize quickly, and then on the day, they might change. They might rewrite everything you've said, so you have to learn very, very quickly. And you have to give a performance that keeps the screen alive, but isn't over-exaggerated. So there's a skill to it, which I learned only by doing it. If you do too little, the screen goes dead. If you do too much, it looks silly. So it's good work in of itself, if that makes sense. In a movie, it's the less you do that is, you know, this is why great movie actors are so good, because they're in command. Suddenly you're blown up to, 100 times your actual self. So the blink of an eye conveys a message, or indeed in a theatre, it has to be slightly exaggerated in order to project the message. So, I'd go back. It's good work. It's good work.
And what's next for the Frank Sinatra project, if we can call it that?
Ah, yes, I absolutely call it that. It is a project. So we're going to there's some discussions I'm having in America about taking Raw and hopefully this to screen. And what that means is that the way it's panning out, I thought there was a film in Raw. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a film in this. But the way it's sort of revealing itself, and that's why your word project is the best. I might borrow that if I may.
Of course you can.
Thank you. Is that it looks like it could become an episodic, so a 3-part series of the man towards the end of his life, when he's getting older. So we've got some seed funding, we've got the legal team on board, we've got the writers on board. So over the next 6 to 8 months, there'll be a script and there'll be a production plan, and then it's a question of do you know what? It's a question of selling it. You just got to sell it, just like you'd sell anything, Yeah.
And there must be a market for a Sinatra movie. Must be.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's 2 ways of doing it. You either are Martin Scorsese and you've got $25 million to make a biopic, or you go the other way, and that's obviously the way I'm going. So it's small scale, very intimate and intense, playing super close-ups, super narrative inside his mind, if you like. So it's very raw, very, very revealing from the inside out with the music. And I'm grateful, at least I can, for whatever reason, I have a talent to be able to sing the songs and mean it, which I'm grateful, and it's a joy to be able to do that. So that's a card perhaps in my favour, that I've got the music on my side. So that's the next part of the project.
I think you're licking your lips at the prospect of that, aren't you?
I actually am, yes. I really am.
Tell us about your music then, because your last album, I think, was An Englishman in LA. What's next musically for you?
So it comes out tomorrow. There's an album to accompany this. It's called Shelton Swings Sinatra, and that was recorded with the Sid Lawrence Orchestra. I did a Christmas album, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we'll have to start. Oh my God, to start thinking about that again soon. But there's a new album that's all ready. It's all mastered. It's all produced. And it's called Standards from Capitol, Studio B. So I recorded it inside Sinatra's studio with nothing more than a piano. And it's a collection of 12 songs, very gentle, very intimate. They're not sort of Sinatra influenced at all. They are standards sung as I sing them. I'm very proud of it. It's gentle and it's charming, if I may say.
And I think your first album, in complete difference to that, was the 65-piece orchestra at Abbey Road Studios. So, I mean, they don't come any more different than that.
Yeah, that was a baptism of fire. That was. It was called Top Cat.
That's it. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, that was huge.
But for a debut album, to go to Abbey Road 65-piece orchestra, I mean, that must have been some experience.
Yeah, it really was. I can remember feeling sort of imposter syndrome, turning up in Studio 1. So what have they got? So it's Capital A and B, and Abbey Road Studio 1 and 2. Number 2 is where the Beatles recorded. It was overwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you. To have this huge orchestra and these great sounds. What happens when you make an album like that, you see, is I think it took 3 days to record the music. And honestly, that's about the musicians and the music. The vocals, you sing nothing more than a guide vocal. And you lay the vocals down separately. I think some of the vocals, I'll let you into a secret, were actually done in Pinner. In a bedroom. It's true. Others were done in Abbey Road. But it's the bolting together of it afterwards. And actually, nowadays, I mean, I swear to you, where kids especially make music, they make music in their bedroom, and it's Grammy winning. I mean, you don't necessarily need a big studio anymore. It's a whole new world.
And that's the interesting thing that you bring up there, because obviously things have changed. I mean, the internet and Spotify and streaming and all this kind of thing, and the youngsters doing their own thing, as you say, having hits from the bedroom. Where does that leave the music, the Rat Pack music, if you like, the swing era, etc.? Because there's still clearly a market for it.
There is. I think there will always be a market for this, because it takes people out of themselves. And I think people love to dream, they love nostalgia, they like to revisit their youth, some of them. And it's a little classy, when it's done well, it's a little classy. And, there is a ring-a-ding-ding vibe about it when it's done well. You will always need a studio for that. You'll always need live players playing live instruments. So I guess in my world, it's as safe as it can be. Pop music is a different genre, it's a different beast altogether. I mean, Billie Eilish and her brother literally did their work in a bedroom. And it's stunning. I mean, it's absolutely marvellous. But you couldn't necessarily do this. Well, you could, but it wouldn't quite be the same thing.
But you miss the feeling, don't you, of the real singers, the 50s, the 60s, the Nat King Coles and people like that who, only had their voice and an orchestra to work with, none of the kind of computer software, etc.
You make a very good point. I only know you have to learn to do this work. It's like anything. It's practicing. It's doing it again and again and again and again until you hone your craft. And so the Nat King Coles or the Bing Crosbys or the Sinatras or Tony Bennett or whoever it was, they had the good fortune to literally sing again and again, night after night after night, which is grueling, but it's how you learn your skill. And voices grow, develop and change. I mean, look at Ella or Billie Holiday. When they sing, Peggy Lee, you're in the hands of a grown-up. Emotionally, you're in the hands of a grown-up. When they sing about night and day, or they sing about, You Go to My Head, or whatever it is, you're in the hands of somebody who's lived those lyrics. And that only comes with practice. I love that world of music.
Well, look, Richard, we've spent quite a bit of time talking to you. I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. And I do beg everyone, go along and see Sinatra One Last Shot. It's on at the Dirty Martini at Le Monde Venue 47 in George Street at 3:30 p.m. And Richard, thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It's been great to see you.
They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me, the pickings have been lush, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners. You might refuse to stay. And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck, let this gentleman see how nice a dame you can be. I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck, be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair, and it's not nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on another guy's dice. So let's keep this party polite. Never move out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, let this gentleman see how nice a dame you can be. I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck, be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair, and it's not nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on another guy's dice. So let's keep this party polite. Never move out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck, be a lady. Luck, be a lady. Luck, be a lady tonight. That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. I'm riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. Let me tell you, that's life. And funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. Well, I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know a thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I'll pick myself up and get back in the race, 'cause that's life, and you can't deny it. I thought of quitting, babe, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it worth one single try, oh, I'd jump right on a big bird and fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know a thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I'll pick myself up and get back in the race, 'cause that's life, and you can't deny it. I thought of cutting out, babe, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if there's nothing smoking come this year July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die.
Richard Shelton and two songs from his album which has just come out, Shelton Swings Sinatra, and you can see Richard in Frank Sinatra One Last Shot at the Dirty Martini at Le Monde, George Street at 3:30 till August the 30th, except for the 17th. And as usual, for more details on any of the acts or any of the shows, go to edfringe.com. And after the break, more from Hugh Brown's walk on the Royal Mile.
To you, Fringe Radio.
I cannot believe he asked me to do OnlyFans.
Hold on, let's talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about.
We're always complaining about money.
Then get another job. I am not selling my body. I'm listening to me now. I'm good at this. 15 Minutes of Shame from the 7th to the 30th of August at 7:20 at Playground 2 at Zoo Playground. Tickets at edfringe.com.
I want to tell you a true story. Many years ago, a humble young musical comedian was approached by some radio producers and asked if he might contribute one of his comedy voices to a new segment for their network's most popular show. For many years, this young man delighted in answering questions from people all over the world and bringing a little simple joy to his troubled land, while all the time, nobody knew who he really was. But now his story can finally be told. Mitch Ben is Asking Elvis, coming soon to a theater near you. Thank you very much.
This August, discover the best comedy, cabaret, kids shows and more at the Free Festival. With over 360 daily shows, there's something for everybody at a price for everyone. Donate what you think the show's worth at the end, or book pay what you can tickets to keep the Fringe accessible for everyone. The Free Festival, the real spirit of the Edinburgh Fringe. Full programme at freefestival.co.uk.
One story, two people. Amanda Crowley and Thomas Duncan. One lawyer, one mass murderer. The case is lost. She wants it anyways. Not to win, but to understand how monsters are made. Glimpse behind the societal masks, as with Monster Made, an intense character study, a captivating, psychological, intimate play is coming to the Fringe at Paradise in the Vault. Only the one who can change his mind can actually change something. Monster Made runs from August 24th to August 30th. Book your seats today at edfringe.com.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
Are you plugging a show?
I am plugging a show.
Would you like to plug it on Fringe Radio?
Oh yes, that would be so. So I'm out today for my husband, Philip Osborne, who is doing Wild and Whirling Words at Brewdog Lothian Road at 2:35 today, and between the 8th and the 18th of August. He's a comedy poet, and he's taken his show on the road. Everything that annoys him, angst, anxiety, just things that you get to when you get to a certain age, and he wants to spread the word.
And the question is, does his wife annoy him?
Well, yes, I think I do annoy him sometimes, but I actually think he probably annoys me more, to be honest. But as I said, at least it gets him out of the house and out of my way doing these things. So, and he goes around the country doing his shows. Yeah, it's a bit of light relief. So, but he's very funny and very amusing, so it's definitely worth coming to see. Yeah.
But he gets some free help from his wife pushing flyers.
Absolutely. I've got the soggy job today while he's doing a 5-minute slot somewhere else at the Voodoo Room. So I'm out today in the rain, getting my hair all messed up. But that's love, isn't it? That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That is indeed love. Remind us again of the where and when.
So it is Brewdog, Lothian Road, 8th to the 18th of August, and it's at 2:35 during those times.
I'm sure the two of you are made for each other.
I'm not so sure about that, but we've made it. We've got 2 children, 30 years plus, so, can't be bad, can it? Yeah.
Do you want to plug the show?
No, you sure would.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, we are Craps River, the unauthorized musical parody of Schitt's Creek. If you're a fan of the hit Canadian television show, you will absolutely love Craps River. Long story short, for those uninitiated, we are the Peony family, a super duper rich family who loses all their money, and they are forced to move out to the Canadian town of Craps River. Essentially, for those that are not familiar with the show, we go over the first episode in the first 5 minutes, and then it's as though you've turned on the television and you're watching a random rerun, but it's our own original episode where the whole family is trying to become the Grand Marshal of the Craps River Bicentennial Parade.
Tell me about Sacred Heart University then.
Yeah, so we are super fortunate. We are all members of the Sacred Heart University Repertory Company. We have been sent on behalf of the university. This is our 4th appearance at the Fringe. We're very, very grateful for the opportunity. It's such an incredible city. There's so much amazing culture here, and they've just been so incredible at keeping our educational training alive through this opportunity. We play every single night, 9:15. We're over at the Gilded Balloon Patter House. We are in the other yins, so 1 floor up. It's nighttime, so there's a lovely bar in the lobby. Get a couple drinks, come enjoy some comedy. We'll see you there.
Hello, Fringe Radio. Tell me about the show.
Yes, so we are Elba. We are on at Just the Tonic at 4:30. We are a physical theatre comedy about Napoleon Bonaparte's first exile on the Isle of Elba. It's a political satire. Can one man change an island? And we're on at 4:30, myself and Constant Vigier, an actual French person playing Napoleon, so there's no cultural appropriation going on in our show. Completely legit. We're former ballet dancers with Scottish Ballet, and this is our first foray into the physical theatre world. We've had 3 shows and they've all gone very well so far. Audience have loved it. We've had great reviews, and we're out here on the Royal Mile every day till the end, the 6th to the 30th, selling our soul. I think our show is a little bit different than anything else here. It's not anything specific. We have song, dance, new music, acting. So if you don't like song, there's a bit of dance for you. If you don't like dance, there's a little bit of acting for you. There's a little bit for everyone, is what I like to think. We have lots of, it's quite vignette. It's done in lots of vignettes, so it's fast paced, so you won't get bored.
And remind us of the time and place again.
So we are on at Just the Tonic, the subatomic room at the Nucleus, just beyond Pleasance Courtyard, and we're on at 4:30 every day until the 30th of August.
We're Voice of Lions. We're a males youth a cappella choir. We come up from southwest London every other year, and we've got 5-star reviews from Theatre Weekly. Yesterday we actually sold out, so it's been going really well this year. And we sing a huge range of music down in Old St Paul's Church, just by the station. And we do some sacred music. We do some more poppy and well-known stuff, like we sing My Friend Like Me from Aladdin, and we sing I Will Survive, Mr. Blue Sky. Those are really fun. We do a bit of dancing as well. It might not be the same level as our singing, but it's very fun. And it's a really fun show, and we'd love to see as many people come as possible.
What brings you up from southwest London every 2 years?
I mean, it's just the atmosphere here at the Fringe is it's amazing. And it's a really an amazing experience to just perform to this many people at this level. So yeah.
Dare I say, with the three of you, do we get a little bit of music, do you think?
Let's do a bit of Mr. Blue Sky.
Right, okay, Mr. Oh yeah, great. Go for it.
Sun is shining in the sky, there ain't a cloud in sight. It stopped raining, everybody's in a play, and don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey.
There's a lot of voice parts, so it sounds a lot better. There's 54 of us actually. It's a really big choir.
54?
Yeah, it's a really big choir. But when it all comes together, it sounds amazing, and we just love to see as many people there as possible.
Great. Remind me again of where and when.
So it's Voice of Lions at 2:30 today till Tuesday. It's an hour-long show in Old St Paul's Church by the station, by Waverley Station.
Good luck. I think I might come and see you.
Oh, thank you. That would be great.
Great to see you there.
Excelsior, 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 excelsior. My soul shall be nearer, my cause to thee. Nearer, my cause.
Voices of Lions, thank you very much indeed. Hello, tell me about the show then.
Oh my goodness gracious me, it's called Broken Fabulous in the 21st Century. It's a lovely piece of new writing. It's fast-paced, it's funny, it's heartfelt. It's about navigating love and the cost of living crisis in London. It's a millennial love letter to London.
I would folk in Edinburgh be interested in the big smoke.
The themes are universal. I mean, we're all experiencing the economic decline. We're all experiencing heartbreak. We all experience these kinds of human emotions. It's about the human condition, really. The setting is just because that's where we're from, and we decided to share it with the rest of the country. It's on at Patter House at 2:20 p.m. We're in the Dram. So come on down.
Good luck. See you later.
Thank you very much indeed.
Bye-bye. Tell me all about the show for Fringe Radio.
Oh, hello, Fringe Radio. What a fantastic news corporation. Nearly as good as Fox News, but not quite. We're working for a show called With the Possible Exception of Abraham Lincoln. It's about the greatest president that ever lived. And of course, you can decide which one that is. One is Donald J. Trump, and the other is the ghost of some schmuck called Abraham Lincoln. I heard he's quite famous, but not as famous as me. It is on every single day at 410 at Greenside at the George Street. And hopefully we'll see all proud patriots there.
You're the first company I know that has done one about Mr. Trump.
Really? I can't believe that. Surely everyone should be talking about the greatest man who is living. I mean, I don't know. I know that the audience at home can't actually see what's out here on the Royal Mile, but there are some lizards over there, very good friends of mine.
Tell me where and when it's on.
It is 10 minutes past 4 o'clock at Greenside at George Street, venue number 236.
Hi, I'm part of Endometriosis the Musical. It's a musical comedy about endometriosis, a woman with endometriosis in the business world. Endometriosis affects 1 in 7 women born with a uterus. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and everything in between.
Not the sort of topic you would think for a musical.
Especially a musical comedy, but people have been crying tears, laughing tears. It's in the Gilded Balloon Patter House, Dune Stairs venue at 4 p.m. every day.
Third Party. It's a dark comedy.
Oh, a dark comedy. It will be
dark comedy. Yeah. Insurance, very dark, very grim.
Yes. Yeah, nobody likes insurance.
No, exactly. This is not a pro-insurance show. No, it's but it's a play, and I wrote it, and I'm not being paid to fly. I'm losing money, actually.
Why should people come and see it?
It's quick, it's fun, it's a joke a minute, makes you think, makes you laugh. Doesn't really make you cry. It's just a fun time. It's 45 minutes. Time goes by like that.
Tell me where it is again and when.
Third Party at 2 p.m. at Just the Tonic at the Caves.
Hugh Brown walking in the rain along the Royal Mile this morning. And next on Fringe Radio, I meet up with Sonja Schebeck talking about an extraordinary show which combines classical music with acrobatics. Yes, you heard me right. Stay tuned for that.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? This August, magician and physicist Kevin Quantum brings an all-new Fringe show to Edinburgh. Invisible Force. Expect brand new magic inventions, impossible moments you'll never have seen before, and astonishing illusions where science and mystery collide. Electricity crackles, reality bends, and you'll leave questioning what's actually possible. Funny, surprising, and unlike anything else at the Fringe. Search Quantum at edfringe.com and discover Kevin Quantum, Invisible Force.
One of Australia's best tribute acts, the 64, make their Edinburgh Fringe debut with 70s Jukebox. At the Assembly Rooms, Bijou, Venue 20, you'll enjoy powerhouse vocals, slick choreography, and full-on energy as the 64 bring you the best music of the 70s. They're relishing the opportunity to play for an Edinburgh audience for the very first time at 2:30 every afternoon from the 18th to the 30th of August. Get your tickets now at edfringe.com.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com.
Your printing is made easy at the Copy and Print Shop. We specialise in rapid printing services, leaflets, posters, brochures, banners, business cards and more. Collect your order at our Glasgow print shop or have it delivered wherever you are. Find out more at thecopyandprintshop.com.
Print it, copy it at the copyandprintshop.com.
The science of chaos. Chaos. Alternative history. Rock and roll. I'm Michael Anderson from Boston. And you've got to come to my multimedia fireworks Elvis in chaos. Hallucinatory images. Ecstatic raves. Greenside at George Street. First week of Fringe. Lime Studio, 5:15 p.m. Hey, pay what you can. You won't be bored.
Bringing the festival to you, Fringe Radio.
So if anyone is looking for something very different, how about Tale of the Firebird, which combines classical music with acrobatics? Yeah, you heard me right. Acrobatics and classical music. Sonja Schebeck is here to explain all. Welcome to the programme, first of all. Tell me about this combination.
Oh, well, yes, it's a concerto for violin, fire, and acrobatic orchestra. And it was composed for the Freestyle Orchestra, which is the ensemble, by our longtime collaborator, Chloe Sharodi, who's an Australian composer. And Chloe and I met during our studies at the Sydney Conservatorium, and we were both sort of interested, kind of not in changing the music as such, but the way that the classical music was presented and where. That was the main thing. And also what else could be happening physically, or just a way that you could embed information into the classical music performance for people such as my parents, who were not musical whatsoever, and myself not really coming from a music background, finding myself in these very sort of institutionalized places where I didn't always feel so comfortable, and also just creating work that people I knew would kind of be drawn a little bit more to and feel a bit more welcome to than perhaps these formidable kind of places where I was usually performing.
It must be very difficult to cast people for the performance, because there's 12 people. I mean, getting musicians is hard enough, but getting musicians who actually do acrobatics is almost impossible. Where do you find these people?
Yeah, good question. I mean, this is something I've wanted to do since I was a teenager, growing up, going to concerts and just envisioning, because the concert hall is a fairly large space, but most groups use maybe the bottom 5 to 10% of it. So I was like, well, what else could be happening in, this entire space? And so I'd sort of, but I also thought, if I had my dream team at 18 or 19 straight out of school, I wouldn't know what to do with them. I had to get experience and understand how to put things together and stuff. So I'd sort of casually mention it to, because a lot of people do gymnastics or, even circus or sport, trampoline as kids, and play music, and then inevitably they feel like they have to decide one way or the other. And I was like, well, maybe you don't. Maybe there is a way to put this together. So then Chloe and I, we worked on so many different projects through, our early 20s. We had a street press magazine for the fine arts, so it looked like a rock magazine, but it was all for theatre, ballet, everything in Sydney, and a circus opera that she composed. And always this kind of interdisciplinary aspect. And we worked with the Dutch National Ballet, combining dance and my physicality as a violinist, and I toured with Nigel Kennedy as his duo partner for a long time, and so that really taught me the string sound and how to sort of use a concert hall like a mixing desk, because it's different in each space. And then finally, in 2016, I was like, okay, I think I think it's time. I've gathered sort of experience from all of this, and I feel ready to sort of start to put this together. So all these people I'd met along the way, I was like, I'll call you one day for this crazy project. For a long time it was called Crazy Orchestra Project. And there was a Facebook group with everyone that I'd mentioned it to, and the first workshop sort of started then. And it was yes, there were people from everywhere, 12, not the same 12 we have now, some are still here. And it was a warehouse in Vienna where you could train, but this was January and the heating broke and the person who was supposed to lend us the lights was sick. So we had 3 days with some people who'd never met each other to just try a whole bunch of stuff out and film a trailer. But we did it, and we booked the Venice Biennale off that trailer, and then we've kind of just been keeping going ever since. So now it's really nice because, you know, it's also when we started it wasn't such trend is probably not the right word, but wasn't so common to, I mean, there's a lot of concerts now where you do have an orchestra with, you know, some acrobats out the front, and, you know, it's becoming quite a thing. And even some orchestras like Aurora and Scottish Ensemble that do use physicality as well. So we're finding now that it's becoming a little bit more accepted. For us it's a bit different because we're usually doing the circus as we're playing, so that brings its own challenges. But it's really nice as it starts to grow, like we get people, you know, writing to us to maybe join now as well, and so it's kind of expanding a little bit that way. So that's been really cool.
But of course, I mean, I've been and seen many orchestras in action, and all the players lovingly look after their instruments and care for them so much. And doing acrobatics whilst playing a violin or a cello or something sounds a wee bit dangerous, and yeah, could be expensive.
Well, look, I mean, that's circus, that's the risk you have to accept. But, you know, we more often get injured in the kitchen or stepping off a sidewalk onto it and rolling our ankle than we do in training or in shows, you know, touch wood. But, yeah, and, you know, the goal is that you train so that you're prepared for it, and you generally don't do something on stage that you wouldn't do with your good instrument. So that's how sure you have to be of what you're doing. I mean, ideally, yeah.
And of course, you mentioned it that there's 12 in the troupe, but unfortunately, things happen down to 11, and you've got to kind of change everything as well. So all of a sudden, you know, as if the Edinburgh Fringe wasn't problematic enough to get everything together and technical, all of a sudden you've got to rethink things. I mean, how much of a problem is that, being one short?
Well, it wasn't, unfortunately, it wasn't, I mean, not unfortunately, but it wasn't an accident. One of our artists' mothers is extremely ill, and he's had to go home, which is absolutely the right decision, and all of us, you know, there's nothing we'd rather him do. But yes, it does bring challenges, and ironically, the fact that we are all not based in the same place is an advantage in this case, because sometimes we will have rehearsals where somebody does have to cover someone's part for that rehearsal, even though it might not be their part. So over the last few months, our basers, who are the people who, you know, who get stood on and who throw things, and people, they have kind of been switching around. So a couple of them have done various roles in the show. That's not to say that it's a simple process, because, you know, he was also one of the fire artists, and our pianist, luckily, she covered the fire role last year. So yeah, it's a massive jigsaw puzzle, more than normal, and yes, it's a process, but you know, in an acrobatic company you do generally need to have these options, because, you know, things happen, people get sick, or, you know, someone's shoulder might be acting up one day and they're like, oh, I'd prefer not to do this skill, because, you know, to preserve it, like, you're always thinking a bit more long term. So yeah, it's one of those things, and yeah, as I said,
the show must go on.
The show must go on, exactly.
Now, as if acrobatics and orchestral music isn't enough, fire manipulation and an aerial harp you have. Explain that.
I mean, I've been doing fire performance since I was, you know, in late teens. I was always sort of drawn to it. And yeah, fire eating mostly, and it was a big part of why Chloe, the composer, created this concerto. She wanted to explore the myth of the phoenix as, you know, like a Well, it's not really about a magical bird. It's about hope and what happens after everything falls apart and how you can rise from the ashes.
From the ashes, literally, yeah.
Which is fairly relevant in the world today. And fire is kind of, it's a metaphor for a lot of things as well. So that's kind of how we use it. In our story, it follows the birth of a new Firebird and her journey into finding her power, facing her first challenges, and ultimately her first rebirth. Without giving too much away, there is an evil that descends upon the world as well, which some people might read certain things into the world as it is today. But yes, that's how it's used, and we have fire eating, fire staff, dragon staff, and some not explosions, but little explosions of lycopodium. Yes, and this is all basically to underpin the story. Aerial harp, yes, 2 years ago, Anya Haberger joined us. She's a harpist and trained at the National Circus School in Montreal, so as a straps artist. And she, again, she had this idea to combine the two together. And so in this story, because the legend of the phoenix says that when the phoenix rebuilds its nest out of cinnamon, spikenard, and myrrh, first it sings the most beautiful song in the world before lighting the nest on fire and being reborn from the ashes. So in our story, Anya's act represents the song of hope, and that's why she's doing aerial harp in the air.
Well, it's at the Assembly Roxy Central at Roxburgh Place. It's on till the 30th, except for the 17th and the 24th, and it kicks off at 6:15 every night. Tale of the Firebird. Thank you very much indeed, Sonja, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'll be the reason you choose to leave me. I'll be alright without you at night. You'll find another approved by your mother. I'll watch discreetly, pretending it's easy to see. And though we promised our friendship forever, I know things change, I know the pain, watching the walls you put up around me, feeling the distance, though friendship surrounds me again. I'll find a way without you, Natalie. I'll find a way to keep my loving safe. I love you even though I know that you no longer feel that way. And through the seasons and through the hours, I look to the moon, thinking of you. Some of life's treasures live on forever, subtle reminders of when life was kinder to you. I'll find a way without you, Natalie. I'll find a way to keep my loving safe. I'll find a way to get up every day and say I love you even though I know that you no longer feel that way.
The brilliant Bryan Enge, who's appearing at the Banquet Hall, venue 396, from the 16th until the 23rd, and we hope to have a chance of talking to him when he arrives in a few days' time. But that's it for today. We'll be back on Fringe Radio again tomorrow, same time, same place. But for now, from me, Stuart Cameron, and the team, bye for now.